Hi Aquarius, welcome to your October 2016 general tarot reading. I just picked that card for Aries. It's so weird, and I shuffled. In the same position, mind you. Okay. Well, I feel that some of you have been disillusioned by something that happened. I just wanted to say before I begin that, as I stated in my love readings that I just posted, I've posted all of the signs, including yours. I do these readings separately. And the general reading can cover any topic. The love reading is just devoted to that particular topic. And I am open to input. If you prefer just one type of reading, then please state why. I feel that, there's a good point to be made that sometimes one subject will be a focus to you over another. And actually, when I do private readings, I'm looking at things from that perspective, although I will, if I'm doing a love reading, I will tend to view it in the lens of a love situation. That is true. Sometimes the readings seem more in alignment with one particular topic, and so it seems to be more organic not to kind of focus on something that is not necessarily what I see in the cards. But the tarot is very symbolic. It really can cover a wide range of issues, and themes do emerge, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be the same for everybody. So that's one of the other reasons why I like to keep them separate. Now, in this reading, the challenge is, when I'm doing two separate readings, is what do I do in the general reading? Do I do like another love reading if I see a lot of love cards? In this particular situation, I do see more of a focus on career here. So I don't necessarily have to talk about that. At first I assumed, because the overall energy is this Five of Cups, that there was some kind of a grief. In the reading I did for Aries, it did seem to be relationship oriented. Actually marriage oriented. In this particular situation, I think that you're grieving about something where you were maybe tricked by somebody in the workplace, or if you have your own business, somebody misrepresented themselves, because we have this card of the grifter, the person who is stealing. Maybe you had an employee who was stealing from you. And that really caused great disappointment, because you thought that they were this stellar individual and they totally betrayed your trust. That's always a possibility, because you're feeling really let down by this person, and it's an emotional thing. It's not just because you've lost inventory. It's because you feel like a friendship was betrayed, maybe somehow. And it could be, if you're working for somebody else, you could feel that somebody, maybe a coworker, got what you feel was yours, and they may have gotten a promotion using underhanded tactics, and somehow it left you high and dry. But the greatest loss to you was the sense of that person's friendship, because Aquarius is a sign of the friend. You're a friend to humanity. And you value friendship. The 11th house is your house, and it's all about groups and friendships. And so when somebody, betrays you like that, you just think about it in humanitarian terms and say to yourself, how can people do that? That's not cool. And that can, make you question humanity, and you don't like to question humanity because you're a visionary. You're somebody who really sees the best in people. And the other thing too is that you tend to be very detached, and this kind of 5 of Cups energy is grief-stricken energy, so it's not how you like to feel anyhow. The current, that's more of the theme, but the current goings on relate to the 2 of Pentacles. So you may be thinking about another job that if you're in this negative situation of somebody who has kind of done you wrong in the workplace, you may be kind of contemplating a job offer. It could be involving travel, and you may be a little bit leery about it because you are a fixed sign, and hence you tend to like to stay in one place. You don't necessarily want to go here and there unless you have a lot of mutable energy besides your sun sign or your rising sign. And so, it may be the greatest opportunity in the world, but you don't like the idea of being uprooted. Well, folks, the higher message, or the message from your angels, is the Fool card. So this would be suggesting, you see his knapsack, this is connected with a journey, and they call it the Fool's Journey, I think. Or am I thinking of the Hero's Journey? I think it might be called the Hero's Journey, but the Fool card is the initiator of that journey. And so it really involves, it's the 0 point, so it's the unknown, and it forces you to step out in faith. I love the Fool card. And I love what it stands for. So you may have to do just that, what the 2 of Pentacles, if it's something to do with another job offer, it might give you that sense of, distance from whatever happened that will put you on a whole new course. It wouldn't mean that you're running away from anything. It would actually be a very productive situation for you. But it's more than that. It really is about forgiveness too, because you have to enter this new phase in life. And I do think you have a new phase. Not only did you get the Fool card, but you got the Ace of Swords. I feel like you have to enter this new phase like a child, and without emotional baggage, as well as maybe even literal luggage. Maybe you need to just get rid of a lot of your stuff and start anew. That's always a possibility. But definitely, with Aquarius, it's being a fixed sign, you have to learn how to forgive and not hold grudges, because that will keep you crystallized in that negative energetic pattern and not be able to really move on. You might move on in body and not in spirit. And you really want to become like a child, and that's what the Fool represents, this, supposedly, the supposed unknowing, or this guilelessness, but really it's a clean slate in a lot of ways. What challenges you is the Queen of Wands. This might be, what I was thinking of? I was thinking of that movie. I saw it like a few times. I don't always do that with movies, but I really liked it. What was the name of that movie? The Devil Wears Prada. And Meryl Streep, she's just like an amazing actress. And I think she was playing that woman, I can't think of her name, that's the head of that fashion magazine or whatever, and it's like Cruella de Vil type of an archetype. But yeah, I mean, this could be, the boss from hell, and it might be a female boss. And yes, as a woman, I can say that women can be jerks also, right? And it's a special type of being a jerk. It's the feminine and the masculine principle combined. Now, the Queen of Wands in the upright position is actually a very positive type of a female energy that is also an authority figure. So if it's a mother figure, it's a mother who is very happy-go-lucky, or shall I say, just a very positive mother, spirited mother, adventurous mother. If it's a boss, the same thing. Somebody who's encouraging, not somebody who's like looking at your every move and stuff. The only thing about that card is that the person could be a bit of a diva and a little bit, just a little bit demanding, or over the top, attention seeking. In the reverse position, which is the challenge position, we're looking at somebody who is really the worst of the female kind of characteristics along those lines. So that's what I'm saying. And the unfortunate thing about bosses that are negative, bosses from hell, is that they are attempting to feel powerful at the expense of other people. They don't have a sense of personal power. Dr. Wayne Dyer called people like that petty tyrants. And that's, a perfect example of what the Queen of Wands in a challenge position is, a petty tyrant. It could be somebody in a love relationship who is exhibiting those negative traits of demanding attention and respect without deserving it, and being very narcissistic and being very out of control emotionally, in a lot of ways, anger issues that the feminine principle particularly represents. So on the emotional end of things. So whether that is somebody that you're currently dealing with, that you're trying to get away from, or whether this is some kind of a in a romantic relationship, some woman who is interfering, causing problems that make her very volatile and attention seeking. I'm not sure, but that's what is challenging her right now. It could be a fire sign that's problematic, an Aries, an Aries or a Leo or a Sagittarius. Oh my gosh, I hope this isn't too dark, because I have practically no light here, and I was hoping it would work in low light. We'll see, won't we? And I do apologize if that's the case. What's going for you is the attitude, and this is the attitude to adopt, of the Emperor. So this is a much more controlled energy, and it does relate to the sign of Aries. So it could be that somebody who is an Aries will be of assistance to you in some way, but it could just be related to, like for instance, if you were planning to be in the military, this could be kind of echoing that, because that is a military person or a person in law enforcement. There may be somebody in your life who actually works in one of those fields that is a confidant that you can turn to, but it could just be that I feel that it's more like the attitude that you need to adopt, which is being very resolute. The Emperor card can be quite rigid, and maybe you're uncharacteristically unsure of what you should do about a particular situation, and you have to kind of become much more decisive, and in order to really make the best choice, maybe you're kind of wavering about something. I feel like with the Two of Pentacles, you might be kind of deciding between two things, and it's possible that some people are deciding between two love partners also, whether it be on your end or somebody else's. It could be saying that you need to seek legal counsel because you're in a position of not being treated properly. The Queen of Wands in reverse as a challenge position could be that this is, if you're a man, or I guess even a woman who's in a same-sex relationship, the woman is acting up and is wreaking havoc on your life, this person, because of her behavior. The advice is represented by the Five of Wands, and this is about really asserting yourself, but also fighting for what's yours. And sometimes, you could say that if there's a love triangle, that let's say somebody is quote-unquote stealing, which I don't like that word. Somebody's trying to steal your partner from you, and then you step in and say, that's not going to happen. That kind of thing seems a little bit much to me, because I just don't believe in getting involved in that kind of thing in the first place. I say let them have each other. But it could just be like in the workplace. Like maybe you have been too much of a doormat and you've been allowing other people to run roughshod over you to the point of maybe even taking what's rightfully yours. Whether it's your intellectual property, it really could be intellectual property, because the swords represent the air signs like you, as well as Libra and Gemini, but also ideas. And so communication, if you're like, let's say you're in advertising and there's an account and somebody came up with this idea, and then some other person decides they overheard you and they come up with the whole presentation before you, that kind of thing. Luckily, I feel like you're going to come to this realization, because the last card, the outcome, is the Ace of Swords. So this is you kind of coming to that realization that you need to change your way of thinking about certain things and turn over a whole new leaf mentally. And I also think that you're going to be very clear on what is going on, and you're going to be able to decisively deal with it without, being kind of pulled by emotions or any confusion that people were trying to throw at you. So that would be very cool, because it looks like there's a lot of kind of activity for you in October. It doesn't necessarily look like a placid month by any stretch of the imagination. But I like the Fool card, I think, most of all, and the Ace of Swords. I think that you're embarking on a new journey, and you're going to really chart your own course. So, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, there is a link to my website below this video. Otherwise, have a wonderful October. Bye.